In the last video, we talked about how to get from the expanded form of a circle, this crazy looking thing, to the radius or the center. And now we're going to do a question. This is actually from the 2017 April QAS. And I'm going to show you a much quicker way to get to the answer. And it's just an application of what we learned in the last video. So you don't have to write anything down, you can just do it in your head. So first let me show you how to find the center, and then I'm going to show you how to find the radius. So the center is actually quite easy for this one. So suppose you have an equation. I'm going to write the general form here: x squared plus y squared plus some constant a times x plus some constant b times x equals to a c. Or the c could be on this side, and you just take it to the other side. The c is on this side, which is the case in this question. And so to find the center or the coordinates of the center, you need to just take whatever is the x coordinate. So I'm talking about the x coordinate right now. To find the x coordinate, you have to take the coefficient of x, which is in this case a -4, and you're going to divide it by a 2, and that's your answer. That's your coefficient, or that's your x coordinate. Actually, you also have to flip the sign. So I'm going to write those two keywords here: divide and then flip sign. Okay, divide by 2. So divide by 2 and flip the sign in your head. So there's a -4, I divided by 2, that's going to give me a 2, and then I flip the sign, so it becomes a +2. Now for the y coordinate, once again, divided by 2, that gives me a 3, and then flip the sign, so it's a -3, right? So there's your center. That's how easy it was. And this comes right from, this is just completing the square, but you're doing it abstractly. You're not writing anything down, you're just getting directly to the center. Now for the radius, this might seem a little hard, but it's actually it's going to get easier once you start practicing. So in this case, it's going to be the radius, let me write that down, is going to be a divided by 2. So once again, you have to divide by 2. Let me write that down. That's the key word. Plus b divided by 2. And you have to square both of these numbers. So a divided by 2 squared plus b divided by 2 squared plus the c, whatever the number, the constant term was. And you have to take it obviously to the other side by adding a 24 to both sides in this case. So this may seem a little hard to digest at first, but it's actually just what we did in completing the square. So you can take a -4 divided by 2, gives you a 2. Then you take the square. Second keyword is square, and then third is add. Okay, so when I squared it, it gives me a 4 here. For this one, I divided by 2, it gives me a 3. I square it, it gives me a 9. And then I have to add it to a 24, because in this side I have a 24. So 4 plus 9 is a 13, and then 13 plus a 24 is a 37. So that gives me a 37, which brings me to the last step in this one. It's just a square root. And in this case, you don't actually have to take the square root because it's an irrational number. And so there's your answer.